Today on Back 40, can I fix a power steering line for little to no money? Good for everybody. Everybody's got leaky racks. Welcome back. Something a little different today. This town and country here belongs to my wife, or as I like to call her, the Queen of Darkness. She's okay with it. She gets a laugh out of it. I don't think she's in here. Anyway, as I said in yesterday's video, this weekend's all about repairs. I'm not getting any projects done, unfortunately, or even two of them. So the man here has a power steering line that leaks. Everyone says, oh, well, just get a new line. That's simple. You can, for some of them. This is one of the lines that runs along the rack. And anybody of you who've had this problem before know that they don't very often sell those lines that run along the rack. That's what makes you buy a new rack. So a new rack installed and going down the road is going to be $1,000 or better. So we're going to try and fix it today as cheap as we can. So the plan is to get under there, wipe the line off, with brake cleans. I have half a can of brake cleans here, 313. Should be enough. And then JB Weld around the hole. Now, for those of you who don't know what JB Weld is, and I'm sure most of you do, it's kind of a two-part epoxy that's as strong as metal after it hardens. And it's machinable. So as long as I can get that line roughed up, maybe with a bit of sandpaper and clean with this stuff, enough that will bite, it may fix the problem. And if it does, it'll be like a $10 fix. May not. Anyway, we're going to try because we need to do something. Other than that, we'll be adding power steering fluid to it every couple of days so we get a new rack. I should say I've also got to put the winter tires on this thing. I'll probably do that while the JB Weld is setting. I think that's a good use of time. I should say it's been pretty nice not having my shop plugged up to two vehicles. You know, get the family rigger in here and work on it. Maybe I'll have to find a way to put the 32 somewhere for a while and leave the bay open. Better than laying on my back in the gravel in the rain and snow. Make sure I can get under there. Everything I own squeaks. It makes a noise. Am I going to be able to get under there? Maybe. I can. So there it is right there. There's the bottom line. Wraps around the front of the rack and comes around the back to where the, more or less where the steering column bolts to it. Although that's a little bit above that. So that bottom line, as you can see, is the wettest. I'm going to see if I can get that dry enough to get some JB Weld on it. I'm not 100% confident this is going to work, but I mean, it cost me very little to try it, so I might as well. We'll see what happens. If you look carefully, you can actually see where it's very slowly dripping on that bottom line. I had to start it up to see where it's coming from, so it's about an inch or two away. You just barely see that little pink drop forming there. There we go. Be down there. Not very badly. We should be able to fix that. That's actually kind of nice. It's in a little better spot than I thought. It's on a nice flat piece of line. I have some of my fancy steel tape that I used on filling holes in the wagon. I might try and wrap that around first. And then put JB Weld over top of the whole mess. Might work, might not. You never know. So I got a microfiber rag in there trying to soak up some water and extra fluid that's still dripping out. It's a very, very slow leak, as you saw, so that's kind of in my favor. However, it may still be too quick for the JB Weld set. I don't know how to drain that system. I'm not getting into that. I'm going to do the best I can with what I have, which is what I always do. So I put some brake cleans on there and dried up the line as best I could. I put my heat gun on there to warm up the line. I'm trying to decide whether I use some of the steel tape and wrap the JB Weld inside that and trying to get up and wrap it around because there's very, very limited room under there. I did put the van up another 4 or 5 inches for a little better work or a little better workspace, but we'll see how it goes. So my plans have changed a bit here. I didn't realize that the JB weld, which is what I want to use, takes 4 to 6 hours to set. I don't have 4 to 6 hours. I have maybe 20 minutes, half an hour at the most. So we're going to try 5-minute epoxy. See if that does anything. May do nothing. It's for plastic. But you never know. It might work. It's worth trying. It either will or it won't. We got to replace the rack anyway eventually, so it might slow down. It might not do a thing. All right, as you can see, I got the 5-minute epoxy around that line. It's not pretty at all, but it's really hard to get up in there, and I'm pretty sure I got it wrapped all the way around the line. We will see what happens. While it sets, I'm going to start changing tires. Okay, so that does feel like it is set in there, and it's pretty dry looking. I'm going to start her up in a couple minutes and see if it done anything. It may not have done a thing, but we'll have a peek and see. And I don't know if it's fuel safe or not. It may not be. The transmission fluid may just eat it, power steering fluid may just eat its way through it, but I had to try something in the amount of time I had. Well, as you can see, it's still leaking. Didn't work. Anyway, I guess we're going to be putting a rack on it, or we're going to try and laying it up someday and get some actual JB weld on it and go from there. We had to try, though. It's still a pretty slow leak. So I did try again. I mixed up a little more epoxy just in case I missed that spot, but no. It's I don't know if I actually got the spot or if power steering fluid is just eating its way through. Anyway, that's a fail, but you got to try something. Alright, so my trick with the 5-minute epoxy didn't work, but I didn't really expect it to. I had planned to use JB Weld, but didn't realize I needed 4 to 6 hours for it to set. So by the time I had everything cleaned off and I ran up in the air, I figured, well, I might as well try. I had spilled some 5-minute epoxy on something once before on some steel, and I was never able to get it off. I think it was a fender or something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was on bare steel. It wouldn't come off, so I thought, there is a chance. You don't know if you don't try things. Anyway, this channel is all about mistakes. That's one of them. However, it didn't cost me any money or set me back anything or cause any more damage to try that. I had the stuff. I figured I'd give it a shot. Try and fix the leak. Didn't work. That happens. Some of you are saying, well, why wouldn't you just cut the line? Well, laying on my back on the shop floor with the van up high enough for me to get underneath it was not the right angle for me to get in there with both hands and cut the line, and there really wasn't enough room to get a pipe cutter in there. And the last time I put a sawzall on a power steering line, I had to replace more than one. And it's my wife's van. She needs it every day, so I couldn't have some kind of a catastrophic failure on Sunday morning and have her walking to work. She won't drive the wagon. So anyway, as I said thousands of times, lots of things don't work. Don't know if you don't try. Cost me nothing to try it. The stuff was here. Might as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Again, someday we'll have this Buick in here. Get back at it. We do what we can do. Take care.